Greetings, sweet babies. I know y'all might have noticed that we're not in the Hens Talk a Lot Den tonight. We're in Studio 69, the Fox's Den. I know some of you grown folks, y'all know what that means. I was talking to the bro the other day, and he said something very smart. He told me that your studio is in whatever room you decide to work out of. And that's very true, because I know for a fact I've lived in a few different places. One of my setups was just like the setup I have now, where I have a multifunctional studio, right? There's a art studio, there's the podcast corner, and then there's the gym side of the room, right? And I know we spoke about this in a previous video. But tonight we in Studio 69. Okay, a more intimate space, so to speak. And it's not for any reason in particular. It's just that I know for me, in order to stick to something that I say I'm gonna do, i.e., push these videos out and have podcast content for y'all, not always on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but it's either gonna be available on a Monday, a Wednesday, or a Friday, right? I have a lot of other things going on, and that's the time that I allotted for this space. That's why I came up with something just for T channel. Okay. So it's more of a video diary tonight, because in order to work out these intrusive thoughts, baby, we gotta record when we have a moment. Okay. Sometimes that requires you to wake up out of your sleep. Sometimes you have those epiphanies in the boudoir, so to speak, right? But yeah, this tonight's episode, originally episode 10, was gonna be a lighthearted type of things that only happen to T. For example, I fall going up the stairs, not always down. If I'm outside in a crowd of people, I could be at a concert. Nobody else may be chased by a bug, but it's gonna be me, right? So but I figured I couldn't make an actual full episode of all these things. Now, granted, there are a lot of things that happen to T, okay? A lot of things that happen to me. But instead of listing all of those out and going over all of those, I decided to come up with a different topic. And I'm a person that watches a lot of documentaries. I like reality TV shows to see if I can weed out where it's scripted or where the truth is, right? And I always had this kind of a hobby to where I did this, but there was a show on Netflix, and I can't remember what it was called, but it kind of mimicked all the reality love shows like The Bachelorette, Love is Blind, and they showed in detail how scripted this show was, all the way down to the people that they chose to fall in love with each other, right? But one thing that the majority of these shows or documentaries have in common is there's always a therapy session, right? Now, of course, for TV, it's probably a little, it's probably for entertainment purposes, right? Even marriage boot camp, right? There are these experts that come out and talk to the couples, right? But to make a long story short and to keep it simple, we're going to refer to them as either therapists or psychiatrists, right? Even in your own life, if you've ever been to therapy, there's always this one question that comes about, right? And it may be phrased differently, but it's something like, if you could talk to your 10-year-old self or give your 10-year-old self any sort of advice, what would you say? And I promise you, show after show after show after show, I see this, right? But me in particular, I was happy at 10, right? I was living my best life at 10. I had no responsibilities. I wasn't an adult. I wasn't paying all these bills. I wasn't, as my mom used to say this all the time, I wasn't robbing Peter to pay Paul, okay? Um, and a lot of things happen at 13, not 10, right? So, and I feel like all of those things that kind of like had this domino effect in my life, starting with my the passing of my mother, right? I feel like all those things molded me and shaped me into the person that I am today. The good, the bad, the ugly, right? All of those things shaped me. And I feel like I wouldn't tell my 10-year-old self anything. I wouldn't change anything about my 10-year-old self, right? I think I'd go to the right bold age, young adulthood at 25. And when I hear this question often, what would you tell your 10-year-old self, or, whatever your teenage age or your coming of age was, right? I would want to talk to my future self. I want to know that we lifted up our hands and said, "Mama, we made it," right? I don't want to I don't want to go back to the past, because without the past, I wouldn't be who I am. And I'm proud of who I am. And I know a lot of people don't have that same story. They can't relate. They dealt with some childhood traumas that also shaped them into who they are, but they may not be happy with that person, right? They may want to be somebody else. It's a lot of people with multiple personality disorders, right? They can't decide who they are from today to Friday. They're a different person, right? And so, to elaborate on me talking to my 25-year-old self, I'd say wait a little bit longer. You're going to be fine. Just be patient. Wait a little bit longer. And I'm not going to give any context to that, or go too deep into that. But patience has never been a virtue for me, right? I've always naturally been impatient, and I classify myself as naturally nosy. That's why I spoke on, y'all might notice a different background today, or a different area that I'm in today, because I know some of y'all is nosy as y'all really observant, okay? Just like me, right? Um, but yeah, I would tell my 25-year-old self, be patient, just wait. Your day will come. And even if it doesn't, and the way that you want it to, it will come and you will be okay, right? And like I said, if I could talk to my future self, I want to listen. I'm nosy as hell, y'all. I want to know, do we have flying cars? Even though watching Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said that technically we do have flying cars. It's called the subway, right? Um, but I want to know, are we going to be like the Jetsons in the future? Like, can I get my jetpack now, please? I want to go see my alien cousins. Like, I don't want to be here. And not in the sense that, I don't want to be here, but like, I like to travel, y'all. I want to go to space. Can I go bounce on the moon a few times and come back? Like, no gravity, baby. My knees would be so happy, okay? But on a more serious note, I would want to talk to my future self. I wouldn't want to talk to my younger self, because I can remember what happened back then. Now, I might not be able to remember what happened yesterday, but a lot of things that molded me in my childhood, or the memories that I have from my childhood, they're mostly happy memories. My memories didn't start to suck until adulthood. Okay. Things came to light that I didn't have any idea that happened. Um, I lost a lot of people, I lost a lot of relatives, a lot of things that you can't get back, right? But I, yeah, I want to talk to my coming of age self, as not a teenager, but in my mid 20s, or my early to mid 20s, right? because I feel like there are a lot of things that I could have avoided, a lot of things that I could have done better, and a lot of things that I could have stuck to that would have allowed me to progress a little bit further than I am now. I mean, when I tell you I made a lot of stupid mistakes, all the way, your girl is in the ATL, all the way down to having a divorce party and throwing money at the strip club. Like, can I get my funds back, please, Charlie? Can I get my little points back? Okay. And don't worry, y'all, Charlie is the stage name. But yeah, I would like to talk to my future self. I would like to see where we are. Have we done anything different, or are we still taking these little mini hibernations, aka naps? Like, am I finally in that girlish figure that I want? Am I finally my figure 8? Okay. Because I work out hard, y'all. That's really why we're in a different setting. Because Auntie knees is aching, baby. We had to be comfortable today, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for tonight. It's not a really long episode. I wanted y'all to be interactive and engage with me in the comments. I feel like I beg every video, and it's like only the same 1 to 2 people who comment. Y'all, if y'all watch the video, if y'all see the video, please engage in the comments to help the channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You about to turn me into a real content creator, okay? If I gotta repeat that in every video. I feel like common sense ain't coming, okay? It ain't coming, or it ain't coming. You know what I mean? It ain't coming to your head right now. But yeah, but yeah, I want y'all to answer that question. At what age would you go back to give yourself advice? And would you want to talk to your future self? A lot of people are so afraid of the future. And to reiterate on something I said in the last show, a lot of people like to live in the past. Like, baby, wake up. It's a new day. It's a whole new year. Like, just thank the Lord that you made it this far, right? And I'm not interested. I don't want to say I'm not interested in nothing in my past, right? Because a lot of us do have that unrealistic expectation of, if I could go back to the past, I want to talk to my parents, or I want to see if there was some kind of way I can innovate the future so they're here longer, for a longer period of time, and I wouldn't have never talked to that man. Or like, no, baby, let's talk about the future. Am I doing anything differently then there in the future than what I'm doing now, right? And I would want to get knowledge from my future self. How can I get that quicker, baby? Like, let's go. Give me something that's gonna help me now, okay? But yeah, that's it. That's all. I appreciate y'all if y'all stayed to the end. I appreciate you if you just clicked on the video. I don't really care, but I want there to be engagement. I do. So I'm not saying I don't care like that, but you know, the truck gonna keep on going. Big wheels keep on turning. Y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. All right, bye y'all. Peace.